Grand Theft Auto, also known as GTA, is one of the most popular and controversial video games franchises which has ever existed. When GTA 5 was released in September 2013, it became the fastest ever entertainment product to generate $1 billion in revenue, doing so in just 3 days. But it isn't just its popularity which makes it a phenomenon. Since the release of the first game in September 1997, it has used some innovative gameplay and storytelling methods to create an engaging gameplay environment. Created by David Jones, GTA 1 was not the immersive 3D world which we now know, but instead used a top-down camera and a graphics method called parallax scrolling. Whilst many other games were now exploring 3D graphics, this freed up hardware processing power and meant players could be given the freedom to explore the world and cause as much havoc as they wished. Given that causing havoc was rewarded with points, players could find the most creative and fulfilling way to earn points. And when a player did take on missions, unlike other games, players were free to find their own route rather than having a predetermined path set for them. Despite some underwhelming reviews, GTA did do well enough to justify a sequel, with GTA 2 coming out in September 1999. This featured updated graphics, sound and gameplay, and the city was larger and more populated. The general concept remained pretty much the same, but it did introduce the idea of multiple gangs. This meant that doing jobs for one gang meant that other gangs would trust you less, and potentially see you as a threat. For the first time in games, actions had consequences. It took another 2 years for the next GTA installment, but it was a game changer. GTA 3 was released in October 2001. Advancements in graphics technology meant developers could create a fully explorable three-dimensional city. It took the freedom allowed in the first 2D games, but placed them in a 3D environment. Whilst players could spend as much or as little time on the story as they wished, the storyline was moved into the spotlight. It branched from one mission to the next and connected to other parts of the game. This, along with the free and open exploration, created a non-linear feel, which still had a cohesive, complex and intricate storyline. But this fully 3D world also captured negative attention. Whilst previous GTA releases had focused on criminal activities and violence, with the game's publicists even using these elements to attract media attention, these games largely fell under the radar. But GTA 3's realistic 3D city attracted the attention of parents, groups and newspaper editorials, who suggested the game was akin to virtual target practice. The game also came under fire for its portrayal of women. Apart from only 3 female characters woven into the game's story, the only females are prostitutes. And there's also the possibility that after soliciting one of these prostitutes, the player can kill her to retrieve their money back. This led to Walmart announcing that it wouldn't sell the game to anyone under 17, and the initial release being banned in Australia. GTA 3 was followed up in October 2002 with GTA Vice City. Taking a Miami Vice type aesthetic, it kept the same formula as GTA 3, but gave players a more complex and intricate world, and players were able to purchase property and businesses to build their own empire rather than just following the game's protagonist. 2 years later, in October 2004, GTA San Andreas was released. This game featured not just a city, but an entire state loosely based around California. It included 3 cities, as well as deserts, forests, beaches, and mountains, and it included elements from roleplay games, also known as RPGs. If players wanted the character to be strong, he would have to exercise and eat healthy. If they ate junk food, they will lose this strength. Likewise, there was a variety of clothing, and what you wore affected how other characters reacted to you. It was another 4 years before the next installment, with GTA 4 being released in April 2008. GTA 4 took a different approach to San Andreas. Firstly, we returned to the location of GTA 3, and character customization was limited. Also, like GTA 3, there was a renewed focus on the story, although players were still free to choose if and when they completed the story missions. The tone of the story was also changed. Previous 3 installments took a more romanticized view, akin to movies such as Scarface, but GTA 4 took a more serious approach by charting the arrival of an illegal immigrant chasing the American dream. He may have been a criminal, but this was forced on him by circumstance. This narrative was given rave reviews. Gawker called it the first postmodern video game, and one academic compared the game's story to modernist writers such as James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, and T.S. Eliot, and suggested that GTA 4 represented a modern dystopian experience better than poetry, novel, or film could. The latest installment, GTA 5, was released in November 2013 and took us back to the city of Los Santos. The game follows the story of 3 protagonists, all of which are playable, and includes a game area which dwarves that of previous game. But once again, we see that GTA 5 has had controversy follow it. There has been many criticisms placed against the portrayal of women. One reviewer pointed out, it seems to have been an opportunity lost not having a female protagonist. Likewise, the portrayal of race has also been criticised, particularly race-specific crime. The Middle Eastern character is a terrorist, the Latino a drug king. In fact, some players have become convinced that the African-American protagonist, Franklin, was targeted by in-game police. Since the very first Grand Theft Auto, players have been given a world to explore and freely create meaning within it. Whilst these first games had a loose story, it was the freedom players were given to play any way they pleased that made it fun and interesting. As GTA 3 moved this world into 3D, not only did it become more immersive, but it also developed branched and in-depth stories which attempted to make social and satirical commentaries in the same way that other art forms do. And whilst there are often controversies connected to the franchise, it could be argued that this is part of the business model. After all publicity is good publicity. GTA attempts to create a world that is modelled on our own, and in doing so create a parallel universe which is used for satire and tomfoolery in a way that is not possible outside of a game space.